Live from Studio B, two guys whose business cards simply say, I'll call you. It's The Bottom Line with your host DJ and KJ, asking tough questions, getting real answers, and sorting through it all to get to the bottom line.
Wednesday night, 8 o'clock, live here from Studio B. It's got to be The Bottom Line. Ken, good to be back with you again this week after
work a few things out, but I think we're
ever improving. Official Bottom Line sign here to Studio B. Compliments of Chelsea Madden. I know that as well.
Oh, yes, we do. The Dot Shop, and tell you what, if you haven't checked out the Dot Shop, and you need to check it out. She's very
downtown Bruton. Whether it's a phone call or a text thing to some issues or topics put here, throughout the hour. We'd love to hear from how we're doing, how we're sounding
with the new mega.
That's not it.
We'll try to do that. We'll get back to the lot going on, a lot transpiring. This Saturday morning at 9 a.m. and according to the station has changed. The community college over the parking lot.
Maintenance building. Maintenance building there on campus. Here in Studio B, those of you listening in, they give us a head. We're having a go and things of that nature. Let's real quickly, Ken, just to catch everybody back up on the search for Miss Bridges. Going to be this Saturday over at the junior college. Registration is going to be required if you want to be a part of the search, and the registration part of the process will be between the gymnasium and the maintenance building there at the junior college, there in the vicinity of the old tennis courts and swimming pool.
That's right, and you have to be. You have to be registered, as we talked about earlier, for to be able to participate in the search. I didn't know that till you pointed that out, but you must be registered to be able to participate. There's a link on the City of Bruton, the Bruton Police Department's Facebook page, that you can sign up and help participate Saturday morning and try to help them find Brooke.
Let's get her home safely to her family.
Yes, we need to do that, and I'll tell you, the longer this thing goes and the further out we get from it, they need any and all resources that we can help with, and anything we can certainly do. We want to try to do that and help out any way we can. Also, DJ, coming up this Saturday evening, kind of moving to a kind of an opposite end of the spectrum, is the Wild Turkey Federation banquet held at the Hourglass downtown, where also Camp 31 is soon to be opening up with that famous barbecue.
Great event there that the Wild Turkey federation has, the local chapter here, Lance McKenzie, Marshall Bracken, Brandon Douglas, Brian Riles, several other guys kind of put that on and spearhead that event. I know they've had great success with it the last couple of years. There's still tickets remaining to that event. If I'm correct in that, it'll be this Saturday night. So if you don't have your ticket and don't have plans, get up with one of those guys. I know they're on social media, Facebook, Lance McKenzie, Brandon Douglas, Marshall Bracken, Brian Riles, and they'll be glad to sell you a ticket. The proceeds go to a good cause in terms of wildlife conservation, and they put on a heck of an event each and every year. Yeah, it should be a lot of fun for everyone, and they have tickets available still. I know I sat and got to meet with Marshall Bracken yesterday. We talked a little bit about it, and they're looking for a big show, a big time this year. And the more the merrier. So certainly, if you can find a way to get out there to them, definitely want to do that for sure. Also, DJ, and some of the things that are going on, we want to talk about. Let's talk about the new T.R. Miller football coach. Tell you what, very exciting. They had a reception for him at the high school today at 12 o'clock. Dr. Varner and the school board had a little meeting up there in the library and reception welcoming Coach Thomas and his family. You can only make a first impression once, and I can tell you from my vantage point, he made an outstanding first impression on me. Got to meet him a little bit, shake his hand, talk to him just for a minute. A lovely family. I think he's going to be a great addition to our community. High school. A living that.
I was about to say, I don't envy.
I think his record, he's only 2 state championships under a school in Florida, but I see T.R. Miller in terms of numbers, but in his professional tradition, and was very aware of the history here. I think he's going to be very excited to get here. I think he's going to be here in a full-time capacity the first week in April. I think he has 4 young children, and I think they're going to finish the school year up down in Florida. Then, of course, they'll join him here this summer when school gets out. But really looking forward to having him here, and I think he's just going to be a great fit.
Yeah, I tell you, I'm looking forward to getting to meet him. I didn't get to make it by today, but looking forward to meeting him and his family. And I know that I'm sure he was told many times today of the task at hand. Let me just say that. Because I know I wouldn't want to have that task of coming in behind who he's having to come in behind.
I think we're still possibly having some audio issues. That's probably going to be with YouTube. It's not going to be on our end. Sometimes the feed from YouTube is kind of hit or miss, and I think we're trying to fight through that as we go. But continue with your input here. We appreciate the text. It's hard for us to know what's going on if we don't get the input. So please let us know if it's of quality or if we're having some issues.
Yeah, because on our end, it shows everything's fine. We're not going to know this unless you guys are letting us know. We show the stream to be up and running fine, and everything is running like it should be. I will tell you the last couple of days we've been having some issues with YouTube. I told DJ that before the show got started that we were having problems with YouTube. So I'm not real sure what was up with that. But anyway, we're just going to try to work through it.
Let's go and we're going to roll the dice and assume that we're getting out there with a quality sound. And I want to go back to the coaching search in general and anybody that's followed the situation. And of course, if you've lived here locally, it's almost been impossible not to. It's been a process. Coach Riggs retired after the season. He was talked into coming back, then of course retired again. And Coach Thomas has now been hired. And we talked about this on the first show. You start trying to assume what has happened and what's going on, when in reality, very few people know all the facts. Very few people are aware of the pieces of the puzzle and the things that go in to working through a process like this. And I want to bring up our new superintendent, Kenneth Varner. And I kind of want to set a timeline here for some of the things that he's dealt with. And of course, he's paid a salary, so you're paid to do your job. And I think he's done that very well, I might add, in the short time he's been here. But this guy comes in late summer, okay? He comes into a campus that's under reconstruction, both from a schoolhouse standpoint and athletic facilities. Then in the course of about 4 months, he has a Hall of Fame football coach who's ready to retire, and he has a principal of many years, administrator of many years at the same school that is set to retire. and he has to handle all that. He picked up the incomplete construction jobs that were there on campus.
Oh yeah.
Things were not getting done. Things were kind of dead in the water. And I'm kind of going to talk in circles here, but I hope I'll make a point. We played our first home baseball game last night, by the way, at Miller Cruz Field. I can assure you 2 months ago, nobody thought that a baseball game would be played on that facility.
I did not think that it would.
That project was dead in the water. And a lot of people locally closed the ranks a little bit, tied up ends, got the but the man, maybe things were. We had a heck of a head football coach in Jamie Riggs. His career speaks for itself. He's a Hall of Famer in every sense of the word. We have a new coach on board, high energy guy, young guy. At the end of the day, T.R. Miller and Bruton's in good shape. We still have good people in place. And I think to speculate, especially when you don't have complete information or know all the facts, just nothing good can come out of it. I think Dr. Varner's done a great job getting this thing going again. We'll have a good principal up there. I'm not sure that that's been finalized yet, who's going to take over Ms. Bell's place, but it's hard to replace good people, and that's what he's been tasked with here the last couple of weeks.
No, listen, he has walked into a proverbial firestorm, that is for sure. Had a text come in, DJ, that kind of relevant to the situation we're talking about. It said, why is it the Miller Athletics Facebook page supported the hire and made it official? Well, I don't know who runs the Facebook page. I'm not sure. So I can't speak to that. I can tell you it was made official today with a 12 o'clock kind of a meet and greet. Was it not?
Absolutely.
Yes. So it definitely was, irregardless of what's what, it was definitely made official today earlier that Coach Thomas will be the new head coach at T.R. Miller High School. And so we will try to find out that who does run that. I'm assuming it's going to be the school or someone at the school or with the city school system, but I'm not sure. That's one of those things that there can be a lot of hands in those pots sometimes, and certainly there can be many people that run different pages, especially when it comes to social media and that kind of thing. You just really don't know. You don't know. Also, speaking of baseball last night, DJ, Coach Roch, Coach Hart's numbers.
I tell you,
retired.
First year baseball coach Kevin Madden, who played for both of them during his career. Started off with Coach Roch, and I think ended up with Coach Hart before he graduated. Retired those two numbers. It was a beautiful ceremony, a beautiful afternoon, early evening for baseball. Coach Roch's legendary number 28, and of course Coach Hart's number 4, hung up out on the center field wall. They'll be there forever at Miller Cruz Field to serve as a reminder to all of us the contributions those two guys made for our school system. And it was just really nice. We're hired in the summer of 1974. You know who hired them? Coach Cotton.
Frank Cotton.
Coach Cotton and Dale T. Garner.
Dale T.
Hired those guys in the summer of 1974. And
wow.
Those two hires, and this isn't not, we've had so many great coaches and teachers and administrators in the school system down through the years, but those two guys, you could make an argument, changed the course of history for T.R. Miller High. And it'd be hard to imagine what we'd be or where.
There's no doubt what an impact that they both have had, and all of those three we're talking about, especially Coach Cotton, Coach Roch, Coach Hart. That's big shoes to fill, DJ.
I'll tell you my first memory of Coach Roch, and we were talking about this at the ballpark last night. I was 10 years old, and Coach Roch was over the Little League baseball program, and he was actually the umpire there behind home plate, and I was in the batter's box, and he said, "Hey, Hoss, you going to play for me when you get in high school?" And I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "You don't tuck that shirt tail in, you won't." I'll never forget it. I got the quick timeout, backed out, got the Little Indians jersey tucked in, and that was the last time I approached the plate with my shirt tail out. And I'm saying that to say this. Coach Madden has done a great job, getting the new uniforms in. And if Coach Roch was looking down last night, I guarantee you we looked good last night. Played well also, but we looked really good. And I just thought it was very neat of Coach Madden to line that up. That was his deal. And to have those two numbers retired is very appropriate, and it was good to see them go up.
I'll tell you one of the things I remember about Coach Roch, and it's more sports related, was him stepping on that brake over there in the passenger side.
Oh yeah.
You what do you call it? A California roll up to
California roll.
to the slow
rolling.
He would wake up and slam on that and slam on those brakes and just about give everybody in the car whiplash. And this was back. I think this car was like one of those little C car, Chrysler C cars. It was like 1980, whatever. I mean, it was
K car.
It was awful. I mean, but I'll tell you what.
I had one at Auburn.
Listen, that thing had been rode. That the one I'm talking. The car I'm talking about. That thing, and anybody that went to Miller knows what I'm talking about. That car had been rode hard. A lot of things we remember. Make sure you put that seatbelt on.
10 and 2.
10 and 2. That's it.
10 and 2.
The baseball facility in particular. I know I asked you, they're kind of their own thing or through the rest of the year, or
I'm going to answer your question, but I'm going to have to back for a second. The football playing surface is down, really become plush and be any stretch of the imagination. But the outline areas are beautiful. The scoreboard's great. The lighting is outstanding. The dugouts look good. They have lights in the dugout. Got the painting done there. The concession stand is up. What is really lacking now are the grandstands and the press box. And if I understood it correctly, I think that's coming next year. There was no way to get that construction done in time for play this year, so they had the temporary bleachers brought in. We will finish this season and possibly our summer league play, and then they'll come in with the permanent structure sometimes towards the end of the summer or early fall and should be ready to go again next year. But it's a beautiful facility. Anybody that's been in the area, of course, sees the big TRM lit up at night up there, and it's just going to be something we can all be proud of and should be proud of. And last night was just a great night to kind of open that season. And once again, this is the third time saying it. Coach Madden's doing an outstanding job coming in. Dr. Varner, very supportive of him and doing anything he can to help Kevin on his journey this year. And it's, if you get a chance to get out and catch a ball game, a beautiful place to spend an evening.
All right, DJ, let's back up for a second, take a break, and 2 or 3 minutes here. We'll be back with the bottom line just a few minutes.
What was the text?
and all surrounding areas. Get ready for the Mighty Temptations review featuring the legendary Dennis Edwards.
Can turn the gray sky blue.
For the first time ever in Brewton, Alabama.
I know you wanna leave me.
The Temptations review coming Saturday, April 16th to Jennings Park in Brewton, Alabama. Singing all the songs you grew up with.
But it was just my imagination.
This is a rain or shine event. Bring your lawn chairs, blankets, and picnic baskets. This is the Peach Chevrolet Picnic in the Park. Saturday, April 16th. Gates open at 1 p.m. Showtime 3 p.m. The Mighty Temptations review with special guest Ryan Balthrop. Tickets $20 in advance, $25 at the gate. Advance tickets available now in Brewton at Just Do, Peach Chevrolet, The Oaks Cafe, Evelyn Daniels. Or get them online at temptationsinbrewton.eventbrite.com. You don't want to miss the Temptations review featuring Dennis Edwards.
It was the 3rd of September.
Brewton, Mobile, and all surrounding areas.
Back in Studio B here with the Bottom Line, and we appreciate all of you who are listening in, getting a lot of texts during the show and throughout the break. And I wanted to get to this before the break. Of course, time wouldn't allow it, but a lot of new coaches at TR Miller. Terry Lynn Peacock came in the fall, took over the volleyball program, had an outstanding season with those young ladies. I think it was the most successful season we've had in terms of advancing in postseason play. And then, of course, has a softball team. Her home opener was last night as well. Got the Lady Tigers off to a big win, I think 10-0 or 11-1, whatever the case may be. So Terry Lynn Peacock also doing great things with the TR Miller Lady Tigers, and we're equally proud of her. And in no way, shape, or form tried to omit her from the program.
Absolutely. Listen, we could
fan of TLP.
We could sit here and talk about great things going on throughout all with most school systems all night long. I think we could spend 4 hours just talking about those things. But kind kind of leading back into that, DJ, we had a text question come in, and I'm just going to kind of read it instead of paraphrase it because it's a great question. Coach Thomas, this from a texter. Coach Thomas had a 36-1 home record at Trenton, and I believe he lost 5 games during his time there. 2 questions. First question, DJ, how do you think he handles the transition from a small 1A school in Florida to a program with tradition and success like Miller that comes along with the intensity, competition, and passion of South Alabama high school football?
Great question. And of course, I'm not here speaking in an official capacity for TR Miller football or TR Miller in general. I can give you my opinion, and I consider myself to be closely connected to the program, obviously. But one thing that he said to me, and it really struck home with me, and I appreciate him saying it. He talked about where he came from and his coaching philosophy. He said where he came from, he cut the grass, he painted the fields, he vacuumed the locker room, and he washed the uniforms. But it tells me the guy doesn't mind rolling his sleeves up and working. If you'll work and you have the intensity and you're going to have the players you're going to have here, and I think this is one of the most key components, and I think Coach Riggs would be the first to tell you this. I think Coach Sasser would say it, and I think Coach Cotton would say it. We have a great community that supports our school, whether it's the band, whether it's the athletic programs, whether it's the academic clubs, whatever it is. If all those things stay in place and he brings that work ethic, he's proven he can coach on the field with his win-loss record. When you put all those things together, success is just going to follow, period.
Judging by what you just said, I think he sounds like a maybe this is not the right term, but a blue-collar coach.
Absolutely. I'm telling you, he's going to roll up his sleeves. He's going to outwork you. He's going to get back to the basics. That's what I believe anyway. I've never seen him coach a single game. I can just tell you what he said, and I've looked at his resume like everybody else. But I know when you see people who are successful, they have common characteristics, common attributes, and he has those. He's going to outwork most people.
The second part of that question, DJ, is Coach Riggs defined Miller football. How fast do you think it takes Brown to make a significant impact on the Miller program and city of Bruton and get out of the shadow that is Jamie Riggs' legacy, creating his own definition for Miller football?
Well, let me say this, and I don't mean this disrespectfully towards Coach Riggs at all. T.R. Miller was real good before Coach Riggs ever got here. So to say that he defined T.R. Miller football is not entirely accurate. Believe it or not, they played pretty good football here in the 70s and late 60s and up through the 80s. One of the things I do want to bring out, and I'm not trying to defend Coach Thomas where he gets started, Coach Sasser went 2-8 in his first season. Lost his first 3 or 4 football games as T.R. Miller head football coach. Went on and won a state championship, played in another one. Coach Williams came in, lost his first 2 games as a T.R. Miller football coach. Coach Riggs came in, lost his first 3 games as a T.R. Miller football coach. So if this guy gets off to a rocky start or doesn't win his first couple of games, he'll be following the same footsteps as the 3 people who coached here before him, and all those coaches went on and had great success. It'll take him a little time to get in what he wants to do. He's going to attack a little differently offensively according to what he's done in the past. But I have no reason to believe that he's not going to be ultra successful as long as those other outside components stay in place. If this community supports, and I think it will, we have great facilities, great fan base, great booster club. If all those things stay intact, there's no way he can't be successful, in my personal opinion.
I would have to agree. And just for the comment that you talked about earlier about the guy coming in or where he came from, cutting the grass, washing the uniforms, painting the field, those types of things. Hey, it'd be tough for that kind of work ethic not to have a significant impact here. Again, coming in behind somebody that had that kind of work ethic as well. But
I want, and once again, I appreciate the question, and I want to close with this. There is no doubt. You talk about having big shoes to fill. This guy has ginormous shoes to fill. Coach Riggs, a Hall of Famer, 300 win club, 4 state championships, 10 state championship appearances total. So he has his work cut out for him. He has to be well aware of it. But anybody who's a real competitor won't back up from that. And I don't think Coach Thomas, he does not strike me as a person who will back up from it.
No, I wouldn't think so at all. Kind of the next thing on on the list here, DJ, is, and we ran a couple commercials there. Well, I'll say commercials, a couple little promos during the break. But one of them is the Kick It at the Creek that's coming up April the 9th, Saturday. The big crawfish bowl downtown at Jennings Park. Good family time to bring your family out and have a good time. Live music, lots of boiled crawfish, and I don't know about you, but I'm a boiled crawfish fan.
I'll tell you what, they've done such a great job getting all our parks in good shape. You know, they cut the grass, the weeds are cut back. The high waters that we've had here recently have brought a nice little sand bed in out there outside the creek bank. So it really is going to be a nice day and a nice place to get out and fellowship. And this kind of goes back to what we had talked about in week one, Ken. A lot of people, kind of moan and groan and complain about there's nothing to do in Bruton. When you look at the social calendar and you look at everything, I don't know what more you could ask for in terms of community sponsored events, whether it's the city, the chamber, civic groups, whatever the case may be. A lot to do in Bruton. Just kind of keep your ears open and your eyes open, and before you know it, you've had 6 or 7 months of a lot of fun.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot on the calendar. I was looking at the chamber calendar today, and just the things they had listed that were coming down the pipe and those type of things. I was like, man, I didn't realize that it seemed like every weekend there was something going on, something to be done in Bruton, every weekend. So if you can't find something to get out and do and have a good time here, you're not looking real hard. And since we're kind of talking about getting out and looking at different things, we're streaming this to you live on social media, but talking about the social media impact and the things that, we're trying to get done and do here in our city. I'm trying to, I guess what I'm saying is everyone that uses social media can see the positive impact that social media has made for our town. Look at all the things that get put out there. You mentioned earlier about the pictures that get taken of our kids and local kids and the things that get put up on. I'll tell you what, I think that it's just a great thing to have with this much access for people to have to see what's going on in our city.
You mentioned it, and we bring this through social media. Spinks Meckison, we had him on with 2 weeks ago with Red Zone Weather, and of course he has caught fire, and he's everybody's go-to guy for weather, and he does a great job with that. Without the social media, that wouldn't be a possibility. He gets his messages out, takes care of during storms, and you mentioned the pictures. I wouldn't have pictures of my children if it wasn't for Facebook and some of the people in our community involved in some of the activities my children are. Christina Booker, Randy Winton, so many of them that have taken pictures down over the years and been good enough to tag me in them. And those are treasures, and we can use all these devices for positive gain or for negative influences. And it just seems like when we focus our energy on being positive and doing some constructive things, it just works better for the community.
It does. And just look at, and we're in a town of 5,500 people or whatever. Look at how many likes. You mentioned Spinks Meckison. Look at how many likes Spinks Meckison has on his Red Zone Weather or Spinks Meckison page. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Which leads me to another point. We kind of showed a promo there for the Temptations coming to Bruton April the 16th. Yes, the Temptations, not a cover band or a cover group of them. It's I guess the Temptations as they're known now. Dennis Edwards is still with them. The founding member of the Temptations is still with them. So, he's coming in. They're coming in to do a big show down at Jennings Park, and we're looking for a big time with that. But one thing that I've found and seen with the Temptations coming, I've been fielding question after question after question. Where is Bruton, Alabama?
What? It's the center of the universe. What do you mean?
I've been really. I was shocked. I was like,
I'm shocked.
I bet you I've had 80 to 90 messages about want to see the Temptations. Where is Bruton, Alabama?
North of Destin, south of Atlanta.
I have no idea. I had no idea. The people that you talk to south of us, I go through Bruton when I'm going to Montgomery or Birmingham or wherever. And the people north of us, I go through Bruton when I go to the beach. And I think that that's something that we really need to work on as a community is we need to brand this city. And I think that takes a lot more than just one or two people. And I don't have all the answers, that's for sure. But we really need to brand our community. There are lots of things here in our community to be proud of. I just don't think that a lot of people know about them.
And what better way to get that campaign started? And I know it has been on some level, but the social media can get you out there, through Facebook, whatever it may be, can get you out there in sectors and circles that the phone and the newspaper and the radio can't. Not trying to knock those vices as well, but branding is where it's at. And you and I were talking a little bit about it this afternoon. And the more you can get people pulling that rope in the same direction with the same vision and the same ideas in mind, the more positive it is for your community. And I'm kind of like you. I don't have all the answers on this level of how you'd go about branding and how you'd start the campaign, but Bruton does need to make a move in terms of getting our name out there, getting our image out there. Of course, a lot of times there's a cost associated with that. And that's tough on everybody. But a lot of these venues and mediums are free of charge, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Facebook, or wherever the case may be. But a good branding campaign would go a long ways towards getting us out there.
I think so too, and I think it's going to have to be more than just talking about. Let's put something in a newspaper or on the radio or on TV, or there's going to be a you don't just brand something in a few days. You don't brand something in a week or 6 months or a year. It takes a while to do that.
Well, you correct me if I'm wrong, Ken. Of course, you're much more into the musical scene than I have been. But in the past couple of years, if you want to go see a big musical act in the in a 100-mile radius, down in Atmore at Porch Creek, they obviously have musical acts regularly, concerts, whatever the case may be. They have theirs regularly. The Wharf down in Gulf Shores has them regularly. I think there was a big jam festival over in Enterprise a couple of years ago, a country
Bama Jam.
Bama Jam.
Bama Jam.
But when you take those three communities out of it, who else has them besides Bruton?
Nowhere.
I never see one in Greenville.
No, and we talked about this a little earlier too. I can't say that Bruton originated the outdoor festival type show, but I guarantee you they helped put it on the map.
We're going to claim it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, for those, we're talking about the Harvest Jam, and that was clearly, I think, in my lifetime, and yours too, DJ. Clearly, that was the biggest thing that's ever happened. It was in this community,
the Lower Alabama Woodstock.
It definitely was, with a lot of big name acts that showed up at the airport that day. Was it 1980? Was it 1980?
I was in the 5th grade. I was in the 6th grade. I was 12. So yeah,
1980.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so something like that would definitely. And look, I'm not saying the Temptations won't help us to get started back in that direction, but I'll tell you one thing: we helped to kind of create that whole thing. With, of course, we had the luxury of having William Lee Golden helping to spearhead that thing up, and with, of course, the Oak Ridge Boys at the time,
Alabama,
Alabama,
the Charlie Daniels Band, Sylvia,
Delbert McClinton, you name it. I mean, they were there. And the crazy thing is that part two of the Harvest Jam didn't work because Garth Brooks was there. I think Alan Jackson was there.
That's right.
Clay Walker. And
how did it not make?
I don't think anyone showed up.
Was T.R. Miller playing Neil that night?
I don't know. Something. I don't know what was going on with that. I had a text come in. We want to remind everybody, too, tomorrow night, the Bruton Arts Council program at Jefferson Davis, the auditorium, 7 o'clock. Rhonda Vincent, country bluegrass singer, is going to be out. And I tell you, I had a chance a couple years ago to go out and watch Ricky Skaggs when he came to the auditorium out there. And I'm going to tell you right now, of course, I'm, have attempted to play guitar over the years, and I'll tell you that was something to see for sure. I'll tell you what, DJ, let's take another break, and we'll come back and we'll get back at it here shortly.
and all surrounding areas. Get ready for the Mighty Temptations Review, featuring Mobile and all surrounding areas. Get ready for the Mighty Temptations Review, featuring the legendary Dennis Edwards.
Can turn the gray sky blue.
For the first time ever in Brewton, Alabama.
I know you want to leave me.
The Temptations Review, coming Saturday, April 16th to Jennings Park in Brewton, Alabama. Singing all the songs you grew up with.
But it was just my imagination.
This is a rain or shine event. Bring your lawn chairs, blankets, and picnic baskets. This is the Peach Chevrolet Picnic in the Park. Saturday, April 16th. Gates open at 1 p.m. Showtime 3 p.m. The Mighty Temptations Review with special guest Ryan Balthrop. Tickets $20 in advance, $25 at the gate. Advance tickets available now in Brewton at Just Do, Peach Chevrolet, The Oaks Cafe, Evelyn Daniels, or get them online at temptationsinbrewton.eventbrite.com. You don't want to miss the Temptations Review featuring Dennis Edwards.
It was the 3rd of September.
Brewton.
And we're back here winding things down in Studio B, about 10 minutes left. Ken, once again, want to thank those that have texted in and called in, and want to reiterate that it's going to be caller driven to a large degree. What are some things that you guys want to talk about, some answers you want questions to? We're not going to get off on any wild goose chase or speculate too much down the road, but if there are legitimate questions, legitimate issues that need to be brought up, we would love to entertain that.
Listen, I got a couple of obits if we need to go through them here real quick.
And a couple happy birthdays as well, yeah. So
I wish I had that happy birthday music we could cue up, you know. You remember what they used to, the WABB music, they used to do that? Anyway, touching back again, the Brook Bridges search going on Saturday morning at Jeff Davis at 9 o'clock.
have to register.
Got to register to be there for sure. Saturday night, 6 p.m. The doors open 7 p.m. for the Wild Turkey Federation banquet. I think you could buy a ticket there at the door to get in. I'm not sure, but I know you could see. We talked to Marshall Brackett, Brian Rawls, Lance McKenzie.
I think tickets are $50. You get a steak dinner.
Speaking of Lance McKenzie,
there it is. I told you we appreciate all the text.
Yeah, listen.
Hey, I even got one, and tell me this. Tell me if I'm in the 1% on this. Got outed just a minute ago for having a Fiero prior to a K car. Now, Ken, you've been in the car business for a long time. How many people have had a K car and a Fiero? You gonna have Brian order a couple tomorrow?
Let me say this. Survey says none that I know of. I mean, that is classic.
That's an elite club.
You went from a K car to a Fiero.
No. I need more room. Went from the Fiero to the K car.
To the K car.
Yeah.
What color was the Fiero?
Silver.
Okay, yeah. That was popular.
Oh yeah,
I remember those cars well.
K car, baby blue.
Again, the Kicking at the Creek Crawfish Bowl coming up Saturday, April 9th in the afternoon. Live music, plenty of boiled crawfish, potatoes and corn. Again, the Temptations are coming in Saturday, April the 16th. I know that's the day after tax day. A lot of people probably be looking to have a good time after that. So come on out, enjoy that. The gates are going to open about, I think, 1 o'clock or so. Show starts at 3. Going to have some entertainment before the Temptations come out. But I tell you, it's going to be a big show. There's like, I think, 16, 18 people on stage at the same time. I mean, full band, horns, the whole 9 yards. So that will be definitely something to come check out if you're looking for a good time to be had in Brewton, Alabama, for sure. A lot of good things come up tomorrow night. The Arts Council.
I want to plug Chelsea Madden one more time, too. Not only for the artwork that we have here in Studio B, but also her shop downtown, and I want to encourage everybody to get down there and visit Chelsea at the Dot Shop.
Yeah, she's about to get back going at the old Antigone's building, get that thing go up and running, and want to encourage everybody to go down and if you're looking for a good time or something, birthday party things. Some of the stuff she does is just incredible. She painted a beautiful piece for us here, and we can't thank her enough for that. People want to know who's the guest. Listen, we want y'all to call in. Everybody can text, okay? That's fine. Call in, let your voice be heard. We will let it be heard.
Absolutely.
I promise you.
Absolutely.
I promise you, we will let it be heard.
Voted yesterday in all the primaries. Voted yesterday. Voter turnout down across the board. Imagine that. Shocker. Everybody take ownership of our community and the things that go on around us. That's how you get improvement. That's how things get better.
Yeah. I mean, call in and, well, here we go. We got a call coming in right now.
I got to say this. I didn't have his number stored. Had him back during football season. Chris Hall's, my good buddy Chris Hall's the one that outed me on the Fiero and the K car. I can't believe you remember the Fiero, Chris Hall. I can't remember that. I can't believe that.
Let's see here. Who we got on the phone here, DJ? Go ahead, caller.
Did we lose him?
I don't know. Go ahead, caller. I think we lost them.
Almost wanted to go on the record.
Yeah. But you can call back in. We'll put it right back through. I don't know what happened. Maybe it's on our end. We'll take the blame for it anyway. Hey, listen, we say this every week. You want to tune in next week.
I promise you, if you haven't listened to a show yet, or if you've listened to a couple and may not have been completely satisfied, you're going to want to be here next Wednesday. I promise.
Hold on. Here we go.
Press 1 to start the call or 2 to decline. The call will start at the beep.
Go ahead, caller.
Hello.
Hello.
Is DJ there?
Yeah, DJ's here. Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, DJ.
Hey. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I have a call for DJ.
Yes, sir. This is DJ.
DJ, this is Greg.
Hey, buddy.
Look here, I wanted to throw out a suggestion that maybe we could touch on next week for a few minutes.
We'd love to hear it.
I would like to know more about the budget for the city of Brewton.
Okay. Anything in particular?
Yeah, I'm concerned. You know, I got a copy. You told me some references to go through and look, and I'm concerned about the Lyles Boulevard School not being called exactly what it should be.
Wait a minute. The Lyles Boulevard School, what's that?
It's in the budget. Do you know anything about something in the budget? Wasn't there something in there called the Lyles Boulevard School?
We will definitely check into it. That's for sure. But I'm aware of the Brewton. I'm aware of the Brewton Elementary School.
Okay, if you by chance have a copy of the budget, could you research that for me, please?
I'll be glad to, Greg. Not a problem.
I was told in confidentiality, and then I've seen a couple of pages, and I'm not exactly sure about it. And I just want to make sure that we're on up and up. But I'd like to know if you can research the budget and if there's something going somewhere, not exactly to a name of an established building we have.
Sure, I'll be happy to look into that and try to get some information for you.
Well, I went through it, and then I've had some people to call me who want to be anonymous and said that something about a school called the Lyles Boulevard School. I went over there and rode over there, and all I can see is what was the Booker T. Washington School, and which was the old middle school. And now it's the John L. Fisher Center. I see nothing over in that area called the Lyles Boulevard School. So if you happen to get a chance, if you have a copy of the budget, if y'all could look at that, and maybe I'll phone in next week. I'd like some answers as to possibly, from what I was told, and I don't know this for a fact, I haven't seen it, but maybe some budgeted monies for that area. I'm not opposed to anything. I just want to know if that's correct.
Good question, and we'll look into that and try to get you an answer next week. Appreciate your call, Greg.
Yeah, and I'll tune in. You know me, I'll chime in next week and see if y'all find out any answers to that.
Good enough.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for the call, Greg.
Interesting question.
Yes, sir.
Fair question.
Very. The bottom line is I don't know.
Lyles Boulevard School. That's a new one to me.
I don't know. I don't know what the answer to that is, but I'm sure that we can find out.
We will find out.
And we will hopefully get to the bottom line. Until next week, DJ.
I've enjoyed it again, Ken. See all you guys next Wednesday.
You want to tune in next Wednesday?
Absolutely.
I say it again. You want to be here next Wednesday.
You're going to want to be here.
You're going to want to be here next Wednesday. Thank you for watching.
Bottom line was, the views expressed by call-in guest or in-studio guest are not necessarily those of the Bottom Line, the host, Bossman Productions, other advertisers, or any affiliate of the Bottom Line. The Bottom Line is for entertainment purposes only.